And we're live, and we're talking about Star Wars already. So, I'm sorry for folks who didn't want to hear about Star Wars, but that's what Caitie and I were just talking about.
It's not the movies, though. It's not the movies.
Yes, that's true. And also, we are going to play Dragon Age Origins today, I promise. The title is not a lie. And I'll start up the game here as I chat about this. But I was just telling Caitie that I was getting back into playing Star Wars The Old Republic again. And then you said, because of the news recently, which... For anyone that hasn't heard, there has been some stronger than normal rumors that perhaps Knights of the Old Republic is going to get some sort of revival, reboot, remake / thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That was not the reason. The reason was that I got hardcore in the past week, just barely, into Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated show.
I hear that's good.
It's so good, and I'm such a big Star Wars fan, and I tried years ago to watch this, and I couldn't get past the first episode because I just thought it was so kiddie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just really, like, it felt like it was for small children. And it's actually not. Even season 1, which is a little more kid-oriented, it's not that bad once I kind of gave it another shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, in a week, I'm in the middle of season 3 already.
Oh, wow.
I've just been binging the motherfucker. It's so easy to put on kind of in the background, like while you're doing dishes or something. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to just kind of watch. So I love it, though. I've been so into it. And I remember that even though Old Republic is not like up to the quality of that animation, it clearly was trying to borrow from that style around that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. What, did it air on Disney or something, or where did this air?
It was on Disney XD. And I think season 6 had come out on Netflix, and of course season 7, which everyone is very hyped for, is going to be coming out on Disney Plus.
Oh, I didn't know it was still like a thing that was happening. Okay.
It went away for like, I can't even remember when season 6 was. I mean, I wasn't following the show back then, but it basically went away. Like, it didn't have a proper finale. It was just kind of an indefinite hiatus, and now with Disney Plus, they sort of found a home again, and you know, Star Wars is bigger than ever, so they are reviving it for season 7.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I've been hardcore into that, and goddamn, Star Wars: The Old Republic, it's a really good game. What are you gonna say?
I mean, not my cup of tea, but
if you are a KOTOR fan out there and you've never played The Old Republic, I highly recommend playing at least the Jedi Knight storyline, which was written by Drew Karpyshyn, who of course wrote Knights of the Old Republic. And it's as close to a KOTOR 3 as we've ever gotten thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And also, The Old Republic, it's free to play now. The current model that it's in, the microtransactions are really not a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can legit, and it'll run on a potato at this point because it's the game. The game came out in 2011. Like, it'll run on anything, and you can legit for free just play the class storylines. Really, the only time you'd have to worry about microtransactions is if you're trying to end game or do the expansion packs that are current.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to play the class storylines, you can do that like no problem.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend it. And look at me transitioning stuff together. You know who was the lead creative director on that? It was Mr. James Olin.
Oh, really now? Where could this be going?
So this is some news. I mean, I promise I'll figure out something to do in the game here. Where are we going next? Orzammar?
I think Orzammar, but that's also like, there's going to be a lot of talky bits, so I don't know if we want to talk over that. So I don't know if you want to like, is there inventory management you could fiddle with? Let
me clean up some inventory real quick, because I really want to get your thoughts on this. I briefly, very quickly emailed you on it this week, but Archetype Entertainment was announced. And that is going to be a joint venture between James Olin, who was, of course, either the lead designer or senior designer or creative director of Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon Age Origins, and Star Wars: The Old Republic. Mm-hmm. So, like, massive classic BioWare RPG territory. He was one of the main folks. And also, Robertson? What's his first name? I can't remember.
Chad, I think?
Chad Robertson, of course, who I guess was most recently... I guess he was heading sort of at the executive level, the network team.
Yeah,
for Anthem.
I tried to look up who he was, and all I was finding was things and like how he was like the live service coordinator or something for Anthem.
Right, and I think he's going to be studio manager at Archetype, so it seems more like high level leadership, not so much design stuff. from him, but still veteran, good pedigree. And I don't want to start theory crafting too much and like get into stuff that we can't obviously confirm. But also, Mike Laidlaw same day announced that he is now going to be leaving Ubisoft after 1 year.
He didn't announce he was joining Archetype, though.
He did not. No, absolutely. We should be very clear about that. I am hoping / praying that there's a connection there, but there's nothing saying that officially.
There was something, I unfortunately don't remember the artist's name, but a concept artist for Anthem actually tweeted out that they were going to be leaving BioWare Austin to join this studio that you're talking about. So, like, there's been a couple of at least artists that have moved over as well.
I'm sure you'll be pleased. With
Absolutely, yeah. And so, Archetype's going to be based in Austin. I mean, Mr. Drew Karpyshyn still lives in Austin. I mean, that might be a kind of a nice thing if that could happen.
Yeah. Like, it sounds promising at the same time. The very first thing, like, oh, we're going to be working on a sci-fi project. And I'm like, oh.
I know.
Sci-fi.
But there's a lot of fantasy in James Olin's background as well. I mean, I'm sure if they could get a second project.
Yeah. So I'll be excited when after they release their first game. And then it's like, I know we're doing fantasy again. I'm like, ooh, hey. Oh, shit, I'm interested again.
Yeah.
Or, like, I don't know. I would be okay with the sci-fi thing if it had a lot of weird magic in it. So, science fantasy, I guess. I guess that's what sci-fi is supposed to be. But like, I don't know. I know it's kind of like what people pitch Star Wars, but I've just never saw it like that. I don't know. Something about Star Wars just puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Star Wars is science fiction, but it's an operatic science fiction, and it has basically space magic.
Yeah, with the Force and all that nonsense. I don't know.
But I don't know. I said on Twitter, I thought that announcement was definitely big, but potentially huge. Because right now, what do we know? We know that they have said things like, story driven, player choice, RPG, and it's going to be science fiction. Those check my boxes. But we don't know anything about what this game is, right? So is it going to have an online component? That would dampen my enthusiasm a little bit. If it was purely single player, I'd be a lot more excited. Is it going to be turn-based, isometric, action-oriented? I mean, we don't know any of this stuff, so I guess there's still a lot of time to wait.
Yeah. And that's the news. All right, so
we got gold, we got
Orzammar?
inventory space, and let's go to Orzammar.
Let's go to Orzammar and see if we can meet the other Skype actors that we probably won't be able to hire. But at least we can hear the voice actor.
So they can tell us, no, you've done too many evil things.
Yes. Hi, our friend told us you were too evil for our purposes. I cannot let you into my party.
Do you ever watch those memes on YouTube of Oblivion NPC dialogue? Yeah. Oh my god. I clicked on one too many of those now, so my fucking recommendations is like half that. And I can't stop myself from clicking on more of them because they're all so fucking great.
My favorite one is still like a guy who like is going to sit in a chair and then in the meantime is running into 30 other chairs trying to get to one chair. And it's like pushing them all aside.
Oh boy. Now I like the one where it's the guy and the girl and he's like, "Do you like the food?" "Yes, I like the food." He's like, "Is it too spicy?" "No, I like spicy food." It's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, it's some good shit.
Oh,
all right, who are we taking to the short people land?
I mean, this is a good question.
Indeed.
We can when eventually we get Ogren, we could have a full party of Dwarven people.
We could. I mean, we're taking Shale for sure. I'm not gonna not take Shale.
Of course, yeah.
We haven't taken Alistair in a while. I guess that's because Alistair got mad at us also.
Dirty Kitty Me says, I, being new to this Dragon Age Origins stream, am very confused with all these mods going on. Well, that's the point. Don't worry.
Dirty Kitty Me. Good lord,
yeah,
what a name.
You don't constantly say that to yourself? Oh, dirty Kitty Me.
Oh,
you don't just like look in the mirror to pep yourself up. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yes. Now that you reminded me, that's a part of my normal morning routine.
Of course.
Gotta hype yourself up. You got to do the speech from,
Yes.
oh shit, Jerry Maguire, and then you got to say Dirty Kitty Me.
Yeah. That's how you wake up in the morning.
Pigeon crap.
Oh, God.
Let's see, what the heck? We could take Alistair, why not? And then we'll take Shale.
So it's been so long since I put this mod list together that I honestly don't remember what happened to Ogren. I just remember that it wasn't as exciting as some of the other ones, so I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Marco says, what the fuck, is Jowan a companion? Why, of course he is.
everyone's a we have Tamlin, Cullen, Jowan. Fuck, the
Coin, stranger?
dwarf noble
Orzammar
guy.
Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
His second. What was his name? Start with a G.
Gorham.
Gorham. Thank you. Please don't judge me on my younger self's decision in names. Says Dirty Kitty.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good point, because we've probably been there.
Yeah. Oh, I have been there.
Oh, man. God, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wish we could, like, shout out some of them, but I don't trust people's ability to sleuth with Wayback Machine.
Same. Yeah, God. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. But I definitely have cringy usernames from my youth. I think we all do.
They're bad. Yeah. No, I mean, I can say at least like one of those things.
Whoa.
Like I had the stereotypical thing of like all the numbers at the end because I wanted something appropriately cliche. And I wouldn't relent, so it was just like that one thing plus 6 digits afterwards.
That's fair. The first cringy username I had, I thought of it at the turn of the century, if you will.
Yes.
So I had to have 2000 at the end of it because that was so modern and cool.
Yes.
2000. And then after that, I wanted something with no numbers because I don't want numbers. And so I came up with something just complete fucking nonsense. So then I was this complete fucking nonsense for most of my my internet existence. And now I'm mostly complete fucking nonsense, but a very small amount of people will get a reference.
Right.
So.
I like how we're both sitting here with like on a channel that the name of our podcast is Split the Veil, and we're making fun of our quote unquote younger selves for coming up with bad names.
All right, look.
Like I'm including myself in that. All right, I mean,
I know.
We're not the best.
Called out. I just gotta express my feelings.
Exalted March is not terrible, except it is the name of something else. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so is Gilder Thallen, though. It's just like yours is like a thing that could happen every once in a while. Mine is like one thing that happened once. So like, there's more references to Exalted March than there is Gilder Thallen.
This lady dwarf has a beard, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, she
Wonder what that's about.
Oh boy, here we go.
What could it be?
How interesting.
It's the Maker's punishment.
Yep.
For letting their mages keep on with their circles.
Should kill them now, just to be safe.
Lady dwarves can have beards in Dragon Age Inquisition. That's true. Although I would almost say lady dwarves can have creepy stubble in Inquisition because I don't like the look of any of them. Like you're telling me, like, okay, let's say it is a cultural thing that dwarven women can grow beards, which apparently, like, we know that's true. Wouldn't you think there'd at least be some like
best of luck to you
nice designs rather than like 13-year-old boy growing the beard for the first time look?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, you're right.
No, like I would think a woman who wants to take some pride in her facial hair would like either if she could grow it out a little bit, maybe like gel it into little curls or something like that. Or I'm not even fucking around, all right?
Yeah, we gotta
like,
do something.
I'm being serious. Maybe like shave it into like an interesting design on the face, you know, something like that.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
just like 13-year-old boy, like I love all 3 hairs on my chin.
Right.
You know. So the Inquisition lady beards kind of made me mad because I'm like, no, that's not how this would work out.
BioWare, put it on the list. Dragon Age 4, braided, gelled lady beards for the dwarves.
I like I'm saying, and like I don't really want a beard for my lady dwarf, but I'm just saying, like, if that's an option you want to put in your world, put some thought into it. God.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
King
Anyway, this is my
Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever.
Raisin
you call
ribbons
them
for
in your
Lady
assembly.
Dwarf beard. Yeah,
I
stuff
am
like
his
that.
appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Okay, what are these dwarves on about?
Honor probably.
Yeah, it's typically something about that. Paragons, stone, all that stuff. I have important business in Orzammar.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
Alright, yeah, well, I am a Grey Warden, and this treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden.
Is someone
They're sworn
hiccuping?
enemies
Hey,
of
that's
King
me.
Loghain.
Royal seal. That means only the assembly is authorized to address it.
Alright, everybody in chat, quick,
Letting
try
a
and scare
traitor
Katie.
And a foreigner? In
No,
the
it's
name
not
of
that.
King Loghain,
It's,
I demand
it's
that you
just my-
execute this
my life.
stain
I don't
on
know.
the honor of Ferelden.
I've always gotten hiccups really easy. And as Murray says, since getting pregnant, it's just been like, hey, do you want the hiccups all the fucking time? Great!
Oh boy.
Congratulations!
This guy's trying to have me executed. Nonsense. Loghain is the traitor who killed King Kaelin at Ostagar.
What? Lies and slander! King Loghain will not suffer this. I will not suffer it. I'm his messenger.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
It is really kind of amazing when you think about it. Like, Loghain was a total hero. Like, people would naturally believe him.
I mean, yeah.
Man, this bodyguard is doing work right now.
Hell yeah.
He is really hard to kill.
Especially with the two. I can't get over the lightsaber.
Yeah, no kidding. And even with the lightsabers, we're not doing so hot. How about that? Okay, do a little health potion.
To scare me, people are saying Dragon Age 4 would be multiplayer. Dragon Age 4 is going to be delayed more. Solus is going to die after resurrecting the kids.
Oh no, these are bad.
Oh god.
Solus is gonna run off with Jacob from Mass Effect 3, and they're just gonna forget all about your romance that you had.
Yeah. God, that would be. Okay, so everyone knows I love the chaos. As much as disappointed as I would be if Solus came back with a new love interest, I would just be eating that shit up for breakfast in all of the fucking fan comics and all
boy.
the anger from the Sylvelans. I would be disappointed at the same time. My skin would be refreshed. It would be beautiful. Dragon Age 4 will be a mobile game. Solus will be a furry. That's already true, I think.
Oh boy.
But won't contain looting mechanics. Oh, that one gets me. That one hurts me. Oh god.
All right. Well, we did it, and we did it with no armpit cheat code either.
Hey, look at you. First time in how many episodes?
Yeah, you're not kidding, actually. Alistair. Okay, he needs some kind of armor that's not total crap. Even though
really
he's
wish
still...
we could just mod in like a baseball cap for this kid.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's also just interesting because no matter what, he still looks like he's in shorts. Oh, he is in shorts, basically.
Oh yeah, no, he will never change clothes because we couldn't get that mod because that's sexy kids, and I'm not.
Yeah, we're
gonna
not
be
doing that.
Yeah, we're not. We're already flirting with getting banned on YouTube because of weird animated sex scenes. I don't want to like.
Oh, we already tried to kill a child.
We
You've done me
did.
a
That's
service.
true.
That fool
They didn't
Imrek
let
was
us, though.
barking for a week. Are all humans so
So.
touched? You are free to enter
A
Orzammar,
bicycle helm
Greywood.
would be more fitting, you know,
Though I
for
don't know what help you
safety.
will find.
Oh God. Actually, that'd be funny. Just like you could put him in like those like wrist and elbow pads with the knee pads and like a helmet. It looked like he's skating around.
Dwarven paragon.
Like those what people thought 90 cool kids look like. Hey, I'm here to sell you some Go-Gurt.
King Go-Gurt.
Is that still around anymore?
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure.
Go-Gurt.
Sure you can find it somewhere in a Costco right next to the Tide Pods.
Yeah. Ugh. Sorry, okay, so I went to the Go-Gurt, apparently it is a real thing, and they're advertising Dunkers, and it's like little breadsticks that are strawberry flavored that you dip into yogurt, and I'm just like, ugh, that doesn't...
over your parentage.
God, that's
Eat
awful.
the goddamn yogurt, kid! What are you gonna fucking eat some cookies with it? What the hell?
Yeah, that's just pretty weird.
Perished, did it not?
Maybe.
Also, cookies and creams flavored yogurt. Man, they're... I don't think Go-Gurt's doing well, guys.
No, they're throwing everything out. They're trying to see what
Oh,
sticks.
boy. Yeah.
Were we, I was going to say on the air, that's not the right term. Were we doing this when the Tide Pod thing was happening?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Because I feel like we might have missed it. We probably never talked about it.
Here, let's Google kids eating Tide Pods. What?
Again.
So it looks like it peaked around January 2018. Was that? I don't know if we were doing that. Though.
No, I think we might have started in summer of 18.
Yeah, so we missed that by.
It is the assembly.
That still was so confusing to me. Like, I highly doubt that people were actually eating it that often, but like that enough. Like the grocery store I went to, like you had to fucking grab someone to unlock the Tide Pod case. You know?
Oh boy, the stubble. Oh lord.
I'll have you
You
thrown
don't
in
love
prison.
it?
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers in the diamond quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Oh damn, that dude just went ham on that boy. Can you imagine that, just murdering someone in the middle of the street and then everyone just runs away? No cops, no nothing. That's just how gangster these people are.
Man, I should change all the music to Gangster Paradise. That'd be fun. God, do you remember the fucking first Sonic the Hedgehog trailer? And goddamn, it had the Gangster Paradise song on it.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, so it was like design aside, then you have a Sonic the Hedgehog trailer unironically using Gangster Paradise as the song.
Whoa. They were dang, that's a rough way to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the new, like when they updated the design, they also changed the song. I would just love to see the original cut of the movie that still wanted to use Gangster Paradise as the fucking, like, nothing says Sonic. Gangster Paradise.
City has come to.
Oh man.
Oh,
I wonder if that was just a total disconnect between the folks making the movie and the folks making the trailer, because I know that happens sometimes, but if it's not, oh boy.
Oh, I wouldn't believe.
The city is torn apart.
All right, we're talking to this dwarf lady because I just wanted to get a closer look at the stubble.
Lord Paramount or that monster Balin.
Also, like this is actually just generally vanilla, like the weird, super long arms of the dwarven women.
Yeah, that has always been. Yeah, that's just a weird thing.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird.
Okay.
Definitely get the mod that fixes that, because even if it makes their fingers real stubbly, I would rather have stubbly dwarf fingers than long ass arms like this.
Yeah, creepy long arms.
Release the gangster paradise cut.
Oh, don't even start that as a Twitter thing, or somebody will pick it
God.
up.
I hope.
All right, where do we go from here?
Well, it kind of depends on what you want to do. You're supposed to go over to the assembly, which is in the diamond quarter, so you're supposed to go
Yes.
through that door that you're right in front of.
Yeah,
If you want to walk around and talk to some people, that's the thing too.
we could always do that. Oh, look, let's talk to little Dagna.
Oh God, her arms are so long.
Let's talk to doubly long-armed Dagna.
Dragon Age
Oh, boy.
Inquisition mods that elongates all the dwarven women's arms.
Uh,
God, the little head, the long arms is just so
it's
much.
It's just so weird. Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Come on. Okay. All right. Yes, you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
Of course I've heard of the Circle.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
Why don't you read about axes and ale like a proper dwarf? Such a great response. Right, of course I read that.
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
Well, I mean, and what would the messenger get? That's what Claude wants to know.
What do you mean? Oh, you're looking for payment. My father's shop refines lyrium for smithing. If you help me, I'm sure I could get you some.
All right, well, I'll talk to the first enchanter next time I see him.
That
Will
would be
you though?
wonderful.
Are we gonna forget?
Probably. Claude's not exactly the most reliable guy.
I've already begun reading the Tevinter.
I can't believe you're doing something nice for her. I thought we were supposed to be the meat playthrough.
Did you know the
I mean, he's helping her because, but here's the thing, he's a dwarf, but he's also not a dwarf.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now.
I don't know if we ever established that. Is he technically biologically a dwarf, or is he just a really stubby human?
I don't know if he knows. I think he thinks of himself as human, and that's all that matters.
Right. Maybe he feels an innate, inexplicable kinship here in Orzammar.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he just doesn't feel so threatened because he's not shorter than everyone.
Are you gonna be mean to the Chantry brother? It'd be nice so he can be murdered in the Chantry later. Ask actual Velociraptor.
Questions.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop.
I
There
don't
are a
know.
lot of you, and I've never seen
Depends
one
how
of
much we
those
like
before.
our Claude likes the Chantry.
Things they come up with. What was I saying?
Have a look at my shop, I hope.
Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium enhanced, of course.
Oh wow, some very expensive and nice ring.
You gonna buy it?
I mean, maybe. We are starting to get kind of rich, but we're not that rich yet.
Not enough rich to buy a really expensive ring. We can get a good sword ring, or a good sword money, but we don't got ring money.
You know what's interesting about the super fast mod is that if I have him walk, like it's actually a reasonable speed. So that's kind of nice.
That's why I did it.
Nug Wrangler.
I knew I should have stuck to common
You know what
nugs.
we haven't talked
I've gone
about
and lost
today
them too. I'll never
is
find
the holiday today.
No way.
You know, it's very interesting that I have not. Of course, we're talking about the Super Bowl.
No, we're talking about Groundhog's Day.
No, we're talking about Super Bowl.
We're
What?
talking about Groundhog's Day.
What holiday? Groundhog's Day doesn't count. We're talking about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about.
There's an actual holiday.
Let's talk about the
Fucking
Chiefs
Super
and
Bowl.
Niners. I mean, what is there to say about Groundhog's Day? The movie's okay, and then in real life they take the thing out and they oh, he saw a shadow or whatever.
Well, I'm saying that we should have our own Groundhog's Day tradition where we see if Claude is scared of his shadow and crash the game or not, and then which predicts 6 more weeks of winter or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, well, we shouldn't do that unless you really like winter, because the game's definitely going to crash.
Yeah, I do really like winter though, so I'm okay with this predicament. And what's going to happen where you are? It gets 50 degrees.
That's true. That's actually true. It is. I was out today in shorts and it's February, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, so. Maya says, what is Groundhog's Day? Groundhog's Day is one of those weird American holidays that if you're not in America, you probably don't know about. There's a good Bill Murray that kind of makes a movie that kind of makes fun of it called Groundhog's Day. I'd recommend that. Literally, it's very specific to Pennsylvania. Is it Philadelphia? I don't actually know what city it is. Or is it Punxsutawney? Is that's the name of the groundhog, but that might be the name of the city. I don't know.
I'm not even sure, necessarily which.
It's some town in Pennsylvania. They literally take a groundhog, and they have this legend that if a groundhog comes out in the morning and sees its shadow and gets scared,
This is Orzammar.
it'll be more winter. And if the groundhog just comes up and goes, "Hey, what's going on?" Then it's more spring. Spring will come early, and that's their tradition. So literally, you will go to this one town in Pennsylvania, and then there's a guy in a top hat, and then they release a groundhog from a cage, and if it's too loud or something, and the groundhog wants to go back into the cage, it goes, "Oh fuck this shit." And that's how they handle it now. And that's Groundhog's Day in America. And it's kind of just like for the rest of outside of anywhere else, it's just kind of like this joke and like a thing we're all aware of, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is one of the most oddly, I don't want to call it, how do we put this? Like, not rural, not like, it's just a very like sort of hokey, old-timey thing that just kind of stuck around. I guess colonial, like I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's this really old thing that just stuck around in a modern society.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I would have thought would have only been native to like only people from Pennsylvania would have heard of this holiday, but somehow like it just everyone knows about it now.
And it's basically a national holiday. It's really insane because it's so stupid, and everyone knows how hackney it is, so it's just super tongue-in-cheek where we all just go along with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember like in school and stuff like that, we used to have like, do a crossword puzzle on a fucking groundhog or some shit like that, like just some silly things.
But they cover it on the news. You know what I mean? Like every local news station picks up the little 30-second blurb, if it's anything, of like,
Are they going to see the shadow this year? Back to you, Tom. Oh, this is Tom and Punxsutawney.
Yeah, that's basically it. Everyone here is very excited. It's just like, no, they're not, dude. They're not.
And it's just a bunch of old people going,
like, I don't know, like pan over 2 feet to show like the table of free barbecue or whatever you brought out there to get people over there. Like, dude, come on.
Jessica's Punxsutawney school's closed for it. That makes sense because if it's a small city and like they get a lot of travelers coming in for Groundhog's Day, they might actually have to close the school.
Yeah, did all that.
The one school that's in Punxsutawney, because I'm assuming it's just a small town. Oh boy.
Welcome to Jan-Ar Family Armor.
Is there any other weird American holidays like that?
You look like our type of people.
Because I think that's the top one, but like I can't think of another that's similarly strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it probably is. Yeah. Probably.
Because I feel like our other like holidays, quote unquote, are more like nationalistic based, like, Veterans Day, President's Day, Labor Day, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And those make more sense than like fucking Groundhog's Day. Oh, Utah has Pioneer. I've heard of that, and I can't tell you what it is though. I just know it exists. I have to Google that.
Yeah, interesting. Utah has Pioneer Day. I mean, Texas has Texas Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
I heard
March.
you bitching about, like, I saw, so independently of what you tweet, I saw like, oh, today's Texas Day. I'm like, what the fuck is Texas Day? Like, I have family from Texas, like, I don't think that's a thing. And so then you're like, it's not Texas Day, it's Texas Independence Day that everyone celebrates. So like,
yeah.
I've heard of.
well, yeah, no. So they're two different things. National Texas Day is February 1st, and how do I describe? So that's not the one that I don't really think most people give a shit about that. I don't know why. I don't know why it was trending, and I can tell you, as someone who's lived in Texas my entire life, like even on some of the local news websites, they were describing it as, we don't even know why this is a thing, but who cares? Let's post some Texas shit. But what it is National Texas Day commemorates the date when Texas seceded from the Union, or passed the articles to secede from the Union. I'm just going to leap right over the political implications of that and let people figure out historically whether or not that's something that you would want to celebrate contextually. Whereas Texas Independence Day, which is March 2nd, is the Texas declaring independence from Mexico. Which, like, hooray, we became our own country. That's awesome. So I would say stick with Texas Independence Day. That's just me.
Yeah, that's what I've heard of. That one I know of.
What do we have here with Janar? Let me just buy some stuff, honestly.
Oh, Frozenberry Cupcake asks, so will the UK celebrate 1st of February as the new Independence Day?
I mean, 51% of them will. Let's just be honest about that. Mea culpa. I know it's too soon and all that. I get it.
Gotta pound your chest on that one.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's the truth. Oh God.
12 Monkey says, don't talk about Brexit. We won't talk about Brexit then. It's a sore subject for a lot of us.
To be honest, though, like, we got our own politics going on in America. I have not been following 1 ounce Brexit, other than I know it vaguely exists.
Yes.
So I don't think I could have a competent talk about it at all, other than saying, like, I vaguely know of a Boris Johnson, and I vaguely know Brexit's a thing, and it's controversial.
Also, I want to know why people are like, I feel like people have gotten into this habit now. Someone is like, geez, Jordan, go sit in timeout. For what? I just vaguely referenced it. I didn't even say anything. I just vaguely referenced the Civil War in America and vaguely referenced Brexit. So
there you go.
Do I want to buy anything from BNR? I mean, Alistair could maybe use some slightly better things. God, he's got almost all massive stuff, though. It'd be nice if he just had some heavy.
Yeah. Now, I will say, politics aside, Donald Trump and Boris Johnson do look weirdly alike.
Oh, do you think it's sort of like a Emperor Palpatine? Sort of like...
I don't want to say like Emperor Palpatine, but just like the weird, bizarre hair choices, just kind of like a... roundish looking old guy. Like, it's just like...
It's an odd similarity.
It's an odd similarity, yeah.
No, I was going to go for Emperor Palpatine. See, that's the thing. You haven't seen Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
I was going to say Emperor Palpatine growing people in a vat, and there's like slightly different versions of them. Is that it? Like they were birthed from the same batch? Is that what you were getting at? By the way,
sure,
do you know why I have such a problem? I almost want to go on a rant about this. You know why I have such a problem about this? I just make fun of people. But somebody's going to take that and they're going to go, oh, I guess you're... I'm not making fun of them necessarily for anything political. I just like making fun of people. I'm not taking shots at them for any reason. It's just, they do kind of look alike.
To talk to both of them, what the fuck are they doing with their hair? Just like, at that point, guys, let it go. Let it go. It's not worth it.
Oh, just go bald, right? I mean, why not just be bald?
Just shave it off.
Just fucking be a bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Shave it off, grow a beard. If you can't grow a beard, that's okay. Just shave it off. People call you Lex Luthor. It won't be the first time, won't be the last. It's all right. Just stop what you're doing. God.
Okay. Yeah, I guess no buy-in from Jan. Or we can convince him to, like, stop Dagda and stuff, but that would be mean.
Yeah, Jordan. That's what the point is.
But what would Claude get out of that?
Stealing candy from a baby. Finally getting to crush the dreams of one small
child.
Yeah.
Ancestors guard my son, for he is
Lex Luthor? That's not the Superman guy. I'm getting a question. Hold on.
Lex Luthor is the Superman guy.
Yeah, the bald Superman villain.
Do we want to talk to Filda and then we can? What can we do with the homeboy in the deep roads? Kill him, abandon him.
I mean, there's multiple options we can do.
Let's be mean to that guy.
Okay. I just don't know if we're gonna get to him. I'm just gonna say that one. We can always go back and find him.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although.
Oh right, the Dust Town baby. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
All right. So this is some kind of shrine.
I don't know that word. This is a section of stone kept bare to receive our prayers. The stone gave rise to our people, and it is where their spirits return in death.
Did I hear you mention your son?
My name is Filda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
Okay, safe return. Your son is missing then?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only Smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
All right. Well, do you want me to go and look for him and totally not do anything awful?
How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself.
I feel like Claude's small pupils are bad for underground life.
Well, yeah, that's why he's not underground very often.
He is a Kluslan. Claude Kluslan. Kluslan?
Sure, close enough.
Yeah, he can't remember what his last name is. My parents have been dead for more than 2 months. I can't remember who I am.
It's all a dream.
It's all a dream. If I don't have my mommy's money, then what good is life anyway?
So why did he forget? So Zeb Rand just fucked the memories right out of him, apparently.
Oh, Zeb Rand is a robot that eats memories. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Yep. Claudeland. There we go. Claudeland.
I like it. Claudeland.
Soon he'll devolve so much, he'll be like a Pokemon. All he can say is Claude. Claude.
That's great.
Oh, God. He saw Zeb Rand nude and had repressed a lot of memories very quickly.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, really? Claude was the one who had to repress memories about Zeb Rand. Fucking Zeb Rand just crashed the desktop, man. That's like, he's gotta wipe the whole hard drive.
She just started T-posing. Error. Error. Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy. Okay, what are we saying to Philda? Yeah, I didn't say I'd do it for
Oh,
free.
yeah, I don't know.
Claude wants to
Asking
get
what I
paid.
would
Come
pay
on.
for your services? I have little money since my husband
Claude needs
died.
to make up some
But wait,
money after it all
I
got
saved
burned.
his shield, the masterpiece my husband Smith.
Ooh.
I was saving it for Ruck's return. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing.
All right. Well, your son is surely dead by now.
Perhaps his body could be recovered. His bones. Something
Do you think
to
we
ensure
can
his
marry
spirit is
Nora?
not trapped forever.
I don't know how the flags are in this game.
Comfort.
Well, we are technically a human noble. Oh my god, that would be so awful and amazing. We have to do it if we can.
Now that probably... Well, God, I don't know. We'll have a lot of talking to do when we get to the Landsmeet.
All right. Well, he shouldn't. We shouldn't abandon him. I'll look for him if you want.
Mm-hmm.
How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
And dare I say, Claude is almost like turning a new leaf here.
I mean, you're the one playing him, man. This is all your fault.
I mean, of course, we all know whatever Claude tries to do, it's not going to work. So maybe if he tries to be good, he'll mess that up too.
Honestly, that's likely. So, which maybe that's what we need to do. We need to try to do good things, and then that's how we're going to finally get our evil way.
Right about now.
Because Claude's incompetent.
I like how Shale says that a brawl would be a pleasant diversion. Like, who was she brawling? Well, I mean, before she was a golem, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Can't really brawl as a golem unless you're just murdering people endlessly.
Hey, maybe that's what she wants. Maybe she knows exactly what she needs, you know?
That's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me.
Excuse me, I'd rather be alone.
They're everywhere. I can't take it.
Ooh, do we know where those modded dwarves are supposed to be in Orzammar?
You know I don't. I want to say the bar, but let me go look it up real quick before I mean,
Yeah.
like, you can go ahead and walk in there.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm in the tavern. I thought maybe that's a thing. Well, here's I don't remember if this person's.
I trust Vala, stranger. You
No,
If
this
they're
is
all
vanilla.
gonna be women, if it's a woman, then it's the right
I'm
one.
Cora, your hostess.
I don't remember what the mod was called.
I don't see any modded folks. It's not that I recognize immediately. Just your vanilla ones.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Helmy? Yeah, Helmy.
Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
Hell yeah, it works fine without any casts. Well, that is a controversial opinion for a dwarf in the assembly.
Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the casts are even necessary.
Okie dokie. So you get to vote on the next king.
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my
Man,
views.
it doesn't
on
really tell
equality.
you. I might have to download the file again and see if there's like a
I doubt
readme
either
something.
candidate has been outside the diamond
Which
quarter in his
the
life.
mod, by the way, for
Laura
the
Harriman
Skype
seems
voice
a
actor
bit more
Doors is
forgiving.
Moran, Dorf's
Prince
companion.
Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that. And subtle.
The
as sin.
actual voiceover for the
I don't
female
think
Doors
anything in Orzammar
are
matters more to him
optional,
than winning.
and you can't like you for some reason you could choose between male and female Dwarves. Between all like there's just 5 people, you get to choose their genders. I did female for all of them because all the females are voice acted.
People are killing it in the chat. Imagine the sandstorm from The Mummy, but with Claude's face instead. That was Bosog. Frozen Berry Cupcake. There was no 5th Blight. People just confused Claude for a Darkspawn. And I like this one the most from Amy Dave. In Claude Land is every newborn named Claude.
Yes, everyone is male, female doesn't matter. It's Claude.
Everyone is Claude. Everyone says Claude. So what do they speak? Claudish? Is that the language? Everyone just says Claude.
I'm trying to decide if everything is literally just Claude and it can never differ from anything Claude. So it'd be just Claude. Or if they have like, ish-ing or whatever. So you could say Clauding, Claudish.
Claudian.
Clauded. Yeah, I'm torn because both sound very good. See, I can't find... I can find where the first 2 Dwarven women are. I don't know where the other 2 are. So either they're gone or we're just gonna run into them.
Yeah, I mean, we can just kind of bomb around until...
Yeah, if you find a named Dwarven woman, though, maybe go up and say hi. So... And if she sounds like she's voiced from Skype, then we know that's
we know that's the one.
Yeah, I do have a feeling, though, since the other 2 left, I don't think the other 3 are going to come over, which is so depressing to me, let me tell you.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them
So
think
chat,
open
what
gates
would a conversation between Claude sound like, theoretically?
What do you mean between Claude? Like between different Claudes?
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be Claude.
I know, I just want to see it in the chat.
As long as you know what you're fucking doing. God.
Claude, I like you gotta add that inflection on there.
Oh my god.
I like Claudie Claude. Claude.
Hi, oh, that's a good one actually. It's like a sing song where you just say the word Claude is one sentence, but like how you like Claude or like whatever, and like the tone of it is the fucking what you meant to say. Oh Jesus.
All right, that was good. That was enough.
Oh boy.
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
It could look like Dragon Ball Z battle, but they're just yelling Claude. Claudish is a tonal language to convey meaning. Perfect. That's exactly what I mean.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh God.
Oh, this looks fun. Shadow of the Empire.
I don't know what that is, so sure. What is it? Is
Looks
it
like a nice armor.
All right.
All right, we're buying that for Claude.
All right.
Look at that. All my shopping is finally paid off.
Hey, look at you. Does it look cool, or is it still just like sexy armor? Because that's what I modded in.
Oh, you're right. It might even be that, but we'll just have to see.
But if it's good sexy armor,
I mean, that. Okay, what do we have? Yeah, we can do that. That looks good.
all right. Oh, it's like he covered up his chest.
That's amazing. We didn't even know that was
no.
possible.
Yeah, I think that's well, I mean that's an import from Dragon Age 2. I think I must have added in there something because another mod called for it. But
oh man, Claude's actually looking kind of sharp here. Look at this. Claude has proper armor. He's helping people. This is almost turning into like a real protagonist. We need to be careful here.
yeah, you're getting dangerously close to just reality, man.
Oh boy.
Bosuck. Now class, Claude-jugate the verb Claude in the present Clautin. God. It's got me like terrible flashbacks of having to conjugate, or not conjugate, but like dissecting like sentences in grade school. God, that was always, I was always so bad at that.
Oh, let's talk to Burkle so we can crush his dreams of a chantry.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Tell him to fuck right off.
I didn't think dwarves believed in the Maker.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Okay. Well, don't dwarves worship their ancestors or something? I like how Claude is a dwarf who doesn't know anything about dwarven culture.
Well, because he's not a Claude.
It's fantastic.
There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers.
Well, that's their religion. You shouldn't interfere.
You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists?
I had the wash going, and I just heard like this dunk, dunk, dunk. So I was like, oh god, like the wash do that thing where like the wash is on one side of the machine, so the machine's going fucking nuts. And then I realized that like the wash doesn't take an hour to do, and it's my upstairs neighbor's washing machine. And I'm like,
wow.
I don't give a shit. They can take care of it.
I don't know how old your washing machine is. Mine is, it's fine, but it's probably getting there. And yeah, you know, when it does that sometimes, it is loud as fuck. It sounds like it's trying to escape.
Yeah. So our washing machine isn't really ours. We moved into an apartment that only had the hookups. And when we were calling, like, well, you know, we actually just had someone move out and they left their washer and dryer machine behind. And I'm like, okay, we'll take that apartment. I don't care if it doesn't have whatever feature I wanted before. I want the free washer dryer machine. We can't take it with us, but at the very least, we get to use it for free. It looks pretty old. Like, it looks like it's from the 90s, but it works fine for the most part.
Yeah.
We've had some issues with it, but also weirdly enough, like, you know, like those, like, you know, plastic things you're supposed to peel off on the washing machine, it was still there.
Oh, wow. That's something.
Yeah, I've since peeled them off, but it was just kind of weird to come in like, normally washing machines aren't blue. What the fuck? Sure enough, I like, you know, oh, it's a giant sticker on the washing machine. So.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good deal, though. Free wash. I mean, essentially free washer dryer.
Oh yeah. It's kind of hard. Like, well, maybe we should move, but then we have to go get a washer dryer.
Yeah.
They caught us.
I love this line. You think you can show everyone the way? Presumptuous fool.
You have to do that
one. Of all people, the Claude calling someone else a presumptuous fool is just it's too good to pass up.
Andraste revealed the truth. The Maker took her up to live at his right hand and... No, never mind. It's clear you strayed too far to be brought back with a single conversation.
Oh yeah, and then he's just like, he's done with us, our heretical ways.
How dare! Yeah, that the building you're in front of, that could be a chantry if you wish it to be, but
I await your command.
Get out of here, Morgan. Yeah, no, I do not see any, or at least thus far I've not run into any non-vanilla named female dwarves.
Maybe they're in the Diamond Quarter, though. Have you looked up there yet?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we still got to look around a bit more,
yeah.
so.
So I thought they were supposed to be nobles, so maybe they're up there. I don't know. We can dream.
Oh yeah, we certainly can. All right, well, we're an hour in. Now's a good time for me to actually grab a refill of water and hit the restroom real quick. But what I would like to happen in the interim is...
Oh, no.
Here's what we're going to do, chat. Okay. We are going... So in the Super Bowl, we have the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers.
This is news to me.
Yeah, I anticipated this, and I have come up with a fun game. We are going to explain... Chat room, you guys have to help us play this game. We are going to explain to Caitie who the San Francisco 49ers are and who the Kansas City Chiefs are without talking about football.
Wait, what the fuck?
So you describe
sports teams,
just
right?
Describe the mascot, describe things you like about the city, describe something about the players if you know any, but don't talk about who's better at football. And then Caitie, I want you to pick a winner when I come back.
Oh, okay. Okay. So convince me of what team needs to win just based on...
Yes. Bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with football.
Okay, cool. Now here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. Guys, if you don't know anything about sports or if you're European and don't know anything about
make
the
shit
Super
up.
Bowl, make shit up. Yeah, just tell me. Just
make
tell me lies. I'm not like I'm going to know.
Anything. Let's just... In fact, I want someone to really convince her of a plausible thing that seems real but's not.
Bowls can be really high quality.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Chris Evans loved the 49ers. See, I'm not a big Chris Evans fan, though. I don't give a shit about the Avengers. If I have to choose one of the Chris's, I would actually go Pratt, to be honest. Bowls are that super? Well, apparently. Bunch of guys running around in tights tackling each other, but also apparently the most stereotypical straight guy sport. Oh, gosh. See, I would almost say wrestling is worse, but... Solus is a 49ers fan. Well, maybe. Tell her about sports in Claude language. 49ers are based off rough miner folk with cigars. Oh, God, the chat is going so fast. As long as their arms and as claw-like as it gets, but poor as fuck. Okay. Just say go Samoa Halep. Totally not promoting my own country at tennis. Okay, there you go. Well, Chris Pratt doesn't. All right. Zer says, "What's the Super Bowl, Caitie? Tell me." So, in American football, the very last game, who determines the best in the league, that's called the Super Bowl, and apparently that's today. The Super Bowl is cooking competition. You have to win by dropping every ingredient into the bowl, thus the Super Bowl. Oh, baddie, that's a good one. But which one should I do? The 49ers or the other guys? The 49ers ate my son, Snorp. That's a good thing. So therefore I should vote for the Chiefs is what I'm saying. Who would win 49 owls or one really powerful owl? Does that mean the Chiefs is one really powerful owl then? Can you say Chiefs are rolling dough balls? The Chiefs are a conglomerate of retired army trainers trying to find their lost youth they gave up with their nation by playing a game that has hardly... God, the chat's moving up and fucking with my reading. Gave up their nation by playing a game that has a name that made no sense since feet are hardly used. So, They are chief owls. Okay. So here's the thing, though. 49ers eats children, but the Chiefs are just a bunch of old men trying to get their lost youth back by playing a game that makes no sense, is what so far I'm picking up. And they also roll dough balls, but I like dough balls, right? Like that's a good thing. Or are you saying they are literally rolling balls of dough? For the Super Bowl, every woman has to serve Tostinos to their hubby and the boys, but Kristen Stewart would appear and stop you by seducing you, and you do it on the kitchen table.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but the chat says for the Super Bowl, every woman has to... What the hell? What happened? I left you guys to talk about football, and now people are banging Kristen Stewart on the counter.
So far what I've gotten is that the 49ers loves Nickelback and eating children, and that the Chiefs are a bunch of old retired army guys who are literally balls of dough trying to reclaim their lost youth by playing a game that doesn't make sense because you don't use your feet in football.
Okay, well, who do you got based on that?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think I'm more compelled by the story of the Chiefs trying to find their lost youth, and they're literally just like, I guess, gingerbread men almost because they're balls of dough.
Yeah, the Niners sound like they're not geriatric, but they also seem like soft boys. Like they're not real tough.
Yeah, like they just eat children in like Nickelback, and if anything, that's just any teenager would call them themselves. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, I guess, just based off of this pandemonium that we just
Okay,
witnessed.
well look, so we've got Caitie's official pick for the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs, and look, if that turns out to be right, I mean we got to do it every year.
Here we go. Well, who would you vote for in your vote? Like this is a voting competition.
Do you mean like for real or based on the weird description?
No, like for real.
For real, I will tell you, for the first time in my life, I could not even make a pick. I did not follow football very much at all this year. I mean, my Cowboys really weren't doing great, so, and I was just very busy, etc., etc. I honestly, I'd be hard pressed to make any kind of educated pick whatsoever.
Okay. Now, should we do like? There's some people that have like crazy predictions where they actually like predict the score that I've heard of.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a big part of the betting scene is getting the score. There's a lot of money to be made in getting the spread right.
What's the spread? Just like in the 10s and 20s, or like do you like it's an exact number?
It's like, yeah, you're trying to predict the score basically. So like they're gonna win, 17-21 or something.
Okay, I'm gonna say Chiefs are gonna win 23-7.
Wow, that's a strong win right there. Okay, so we've got even more specific. God, if they win 23-7, holy shit!
I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Okay, well there you go. I'm more interested in the Super Bowl now than I even was. Like I.
Please, no one actually bet on that. I don't want you to lose money on my absolute lack of knowledge.
Oh man.
Oh god. Even if it's one of them, like even if the Chiefs has a score of 23, I would be happy with that because at least I got like something right, even if they didn't win.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Who's
the Okay. I don't know who, because there's a halftime person, right? Who's the halftime person?
Oh,
year?
That's such a great question. I have no idea. Does anybody know in the chat?
Does anyone? Okay, I'm trying to get like closing my eyes. I'm trying to think of who. Okay, who do I think? Who's a popular pop star?
Claude.
Who had tried to get the Super Bowl? Who had a good album this year?
Nobody. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean
if it was somebody good, I mean everyone knows who I would pick. It'd be Kanye and Carly Rae Jepsen.
What a fucking weird.
That would be so great. I would be so happy.
Oh god.
I mean, what's her stupid face one album of the year, which is so ridiculous.
Who?
The one that we don't like.
The one we don't like?
Yeah, what's her name? The kid. She's super young. I think she might have been the youngest ever.
Billie Eilish?
Yes. Did we talk about Billie Eilish?
I don't hate Billie Eilish.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like we talk shit about so many people. It's hard to keep track.
Oh god. Oh, that was it. Album of the year. What was it?
Susaga in the chat says 100% Liliana singing "This Is War."
Okay, yeah, it was Billie Eilish that felt that won. I like some of her songs though. Like
no, some of them are good. She's got a couple good songs. All due respect to.
I think the young girl that we were talking shit about was that Catch Me Outside girl that became a rapper.
Oh, that's a whole nother story, but yeah.
Yeah, that one I will talk shit on.
Oh, so SM in the chat says second youngest Leanne Rimes holds the
oh really?
record. Yeah.
How old was Leanne Rimes? Because
14.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah,
what?
14. That's insane, right?
She was 14.
That's crazy.
Holy hell! I can't imagine as a parent letting my 14-year-old fucking do that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what a thing. That's insane.
Well, I mean, as long as she didn't get fucked up by it. Super Bowl halftime. Who is the halftime? Oh. Okay. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, apparently.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's fine. J-Lo's
That's
kind of
not-
psycho, but Shakira seems nice.
I did not see that coming. Is there anyone else that's going to be in there? It was announced that Jay-Z's company, Rock Nation, had entered a deal with the NFL, blah, blah, blah. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira was headline to the show.
Yeah, didn't Jay-Z back out because whatever, he thought that Kaepernick needed to be able to kneel or something stupid?
I have no fucking idea, to be honest.
There's something about that.
Oh, I guess it's in Miami. The Super Bowl's in Miami this year, so it's been reported that selection of Lopez and Shakira was intended to reflect the Hispanic culture of the host city, Miami. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess.
Okay, I mean, good. I like Shakira. I think Shakira is really... God, the woman doesn't age, right? Like, she's just doing really well.
Yeah, no, I don't... I think they'll do fine. I'm just surprised at the choices. Probably the weirdest choice is fucking Katy Perry with the shark guy.
Wait, what?
You remember that there was like the one like left shark guy where like Katy Perry was doing a halftime Super Bowl and like they had like these guys in shark costumes doing things. I'm not making that up, right? That's a real thing.
Well, to be totally fair, like this again, I don't think I watched the Super Bowl last year, which is probably the first year of my life I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Well, I googled it and this was 2015.
And before that, I mean, for well on 10 years, I just walk out during the halftime show.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I just don't watch them because I'm interested in the actual game, and I just really don't care. I do like the commercials, but the commercials for the past 5 years have been garbage.
Yeah. I haven't had a TV with regular cable in better part of a decade, so like I have not seen a Super Bowl in quite a while.
Yeah, 3 years as far as like not having any cables or satellite or anything for me. So yeah.
Well, all right. Let's. What are we doing? Did we talk to the guild yet?
No, we have not. I've just been kind of bombing around, chit-chatting it up with the folks.
Let's go talk to the guild so we can at least get the quest.
I hope you'll support Lord Harrowmont.
Not the guild, it's the assembly.
Lord
there we go.
Balin is the voice of change and defense.
People remember
Harold
Left
is the
Shark.
voice
Yeah, I
of
remember Left Shark.
stagnation and
Apparently, like
ruin.
in the Super Bowl halftime that Katy Perry did, the shark on the left was the better dancer or something like that, and so people liked him a lot. I didn't actually see it, so I don't remember this.
Hannah G in the chat says, "Hey, what I miss? Oh boy, we have made a Super Bowl prediction, and it's based on nothing but hardcore facts."
Hardcore facts, my ass, golly. God, just like the women going at fucking hyperspeed.
Everyone,
you don't
the
need
way
to be at the
everyone
Royal
walks.
Palace.
Oh, where am I going?
You need to go to the assembly hall, which I think is past the palace.
Oh.
Hey, we can't both be sleepy. If we both have a sleepy strain, then it's over. Then we're fucking done.
Oh, it's contagious, even across the internet.
Yeah, well. Today's also chore day, so it's like as soon as I get off stream, I'm like, I have to do chores.
Yeah.
See, it wouldn't be as bad as because I have to wash the dog. Today's Jinx's bath day because she's a stinky puppy.
Mm-hmm.
She hates it, so it's always like it's like pulling teeth. It's like, ugh.
I mean, is there a way to train dogs to wash themselves effectively? I mean, could that work?
Probably not, because like you need to really at least for Jinx, like her coat is like it has a firmer like top coat and then a soft fluffy inner coat.
Right.
And the soft fluffy coat is what really stinks. And you really have to scrub it in there because the top coat repels water. So you really just have to fucking get in there and just shake the damn dog.
I like people in the chat saying there is Jordan. It's called getting a cat.
Cats fucking stink too. Don't even like, oh, my cat licks and stuff. No, it's you gotta wash the damn cat too.
A little bit, but not as. Wait, really? Cats don't know. Not as bad as because dogs just like getting in muck.
But see, Jinx isn't like getting in muck though. She just stinks. Like it's just a
dog smell. Yeah.
Yeah, but like cats have a smell too. And don't even get me on cat smell because y'all fuckers they just poop in the house.
Well, no, not if you let your cat outside. I mean, that's.
Well, I guess, but then they eat all the birds, and it's bad for the.
No, it's great. I hate fuck birds.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. I don't like birds either. But yeah.
Yeah.
You're having a time hating on watching your dog. Well, no, it's just because it's like a struggle for both of us. Because like I don't want to take a bath, and I'm like I don't really want to wash you, and so it's just like constantly going for both of us. And like we don't have a good tub, so it's like me struggling with like an old cup, like just pouring water on her, and I have to like because she's so fucking tiny, I have to like get into the water so then I'm drenched, she's drenched, I'm covered in gross dog hair, she's just a dog, so it's like like I also get filthy. It drives me nuts. I just want my dream house is I just have like one of like those like I don't know, like the thing you put on your shower and it like you could like move it around. It's like a handheld faucet. And so I could just like stand up and just like spray it on her, you know, like
oh, just hose her down.
Just hose the dog down. Yeah, we don't have a hose.
Warden.
Anyway,
always a blessing.
Thank you for listening to my domestic bitches.
I feel like we have more cat people in the chat right now because there's a lot of.
What news do you bring?
Yeah, there's a lot of cat people, but.
What do we like here, chat? Cats or dogs? I am a cat person, although I do love dogs. I think dogs are fantastic. Dogs are an amazing blessing on society. Cats are like an amazing blight on society, but I respect them so much for their evilness that I just have to tip my hat.
I guess I'm the opposite. I prefer dogs, but cats are okay. I just don't know how to handle a cat. I've never owned a cat. If you gave me a cat, I would sit there like I don't know what the fuck to do with it. Sit. It's not sitting. What do I do?
The cat's looking at you, waiting for you to sit. Like, yeah, okay, sit down. What do you want, human?
Yeah, I just can't imagine owning a pet that can get on my desk, or the counter, or a table.
Yeah, and they claim shit. I mean, I'm sure dogs claim shit. Dogs do claim shit, but cats are just like, no. When you open your laptop and I see the keys, that's my bed. They're just like, that's it.
Yeah, and like nowadays, it's like Jinx. Like I mean, for a dog, Jinx is like if it's on the floor. Then she'll try to get to it, but then you just take it off the floor. And she's so fucking short. She can't do shit.
Cats.
What are you gonna do?
Cats are not even real. Cats are not pets. To me, cats are like roommates. Just like you're entering into a relationship with a cat.
Yeah, I just don't get cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I need aid against the blight.
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now, the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right
now. All right, well, can I talk to Balin?
You must understand, Haramont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
Well, I promise I am no spy.
Would you be willing to prove that? Haramont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Haramont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
Blighted Kittens mod, make it happen. I was so tempted to search for like Skyrim litter box mod because I'm willing to bet one exists.
A litter box mod?
Yeah,
for
that
what,
way you're
Khajiit?
Yeah. Just Google it. Just do me a favor. Just Google it. And I think it's a 50-50 shot.
How do you spell Khajiit?
Khajiit.
All right. So first result was someone asking Reddit that same question.
Lady Dace,
here's a mod request.
Excuse me, 2 assembly members.
Let's see what the mod request.
Harriman can't possibly.
It has absolutely no replies. This was like actually almost a year ago. A little over a year ago, because in January. But
once they see those,
they say,
consider their votes.
Pretty simple. We need a mesh and texture created for the litter box at the cat litter. Placement should be easy enough. I think the hardest part might be making the animation that Khajiits would use while preparing and passing their waste byproduct. And can't forget about the covering their crap up animation.
God, they took this really. I thought it was only if someone wanted this, they could only want it as a joke. But no, this person really wants it for real.
I gotta ask, is this a fetish thing? Is that what this is?
That's so weird. Not from the angle I was coming from, but this person, I don't know.
I don't know. The account's closed too, so they'd fucking like.
They got banned.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, how weird.
What a weird little world I just looked into.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
All right, are we choosing?
You're going into the assembly.
All right, let's go.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough. The assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters.
So, who are we picking?
This is the assembly of the clans. Only dashes and occasional gifts of...
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's two elements. There's who we're going to pick at the beginning and who we're actually going to pick for the crown. Right now, we just need to figure out who we're going to pick at the beginning. So who has the better deal for us is, I think, what I'm really asking.
Yeah, I guess
because we can double cross him at the end. We don't give two shits about that.
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate.
Pick Haramount, then Balin.
Welcome to
Keep saying
Orzammar,
Balin.
Warden.
Well,
I hope you can forgive
I think
our
it
unrest.
depends.
The loss of our king has
I don't know,
hit us
because I feel like the very first part,
your role is
what we just want
but you won't
is
receive a proper
who's going to give us
until
the
we have a
easier
king
deal. Because I feel like Claude isn't the type to work hard.
Yeah, that's true.
So who do you think is going to give us the easier deal?
Well, let's see. Claude, Bosog also says Claude would pick the one who butters him up the most, but I don't know that either one really butters him up much.
Yeah, Balin just kind of makes some snide remarks, I think, but that maybe because last time I played it was also a dwarf, so it was also his brother. So, yeah. Well, why don't we just talk to both of them, see what makes us feel right?
Yeah. All right. Well, is there any way I can break this stalemate?
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Haramont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Ferender, Haramont's man, can be found at the Haramont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince
Thank you,
Balin's
Kira, for the
second,
kind
is often
compliments,
here
and
in
I
the
hope,
assembly.
I think you said college?
I only wish there was more.
Yeah, university. University goes well. Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Okay. What do we have? Well, we got lots of Orzammar stuff going on here.
Oh, Steven says Balin fits the theme of intending one outcome but accidentally getting the other. That's fair. that does fit the theme.
What, of going Haramont but then flipping to Balin?
Or something like that, yeah. Or even like cuz like when you first do the Balin route and you don't know anything about Balin, you think he's a good old guy, and then the very first thing he does is like, all right, murder that man, you know? So it's like, whoa, hey, wait, whoa, wait.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, well, we're here. Let's start with Vartag.
I hope you're not wasting my time with more dithering. The choice I gave you was clear. If you want Balin to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne.
Who do you normally... I know we've talked about this, but I always forget. Who's your go-to? Like, if you had to choose a canon choice, which one would you go with?
Both Lady Dace and young
I mean, we did this in an episode, and now I'm literally trying to remember what I would have said then, because I'll probably just contradict it.
As a neutral
party, I think I said Balin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I went with. It's one of those, like, I voted Balin. So overall, he's better for the Dwarven people, even though he's a big shithead.
I mean, to me, it's one of those instances of, and I don't know how to say this without it sounding like a contemporary, like modern political criticism, but it's just like, it was a great instance of BioWare using politics as a springboard for a story device that makes a meta-level commentary broadly on politics in the sense that it casts you in the position of exactly what you said, which is an unenthusiastic voter.
Yeah.
Right? It's a great way to just tell a story about a political divide where there's really no clear-cut choice, but you're going to have to pick one, and you may not love it, but you kind of choose, quote-unquote, the lesser of two evils. But they don't really shit on the idea of a traditionalist versus a progressive. Like, that's the main dichotomy between the two.
Yeah.
They don't really make much of a commentary on either portion of that. They really just make it about that concept of, this isn't a great choice, but you got to make one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that BioWare is really interested in making those high level commentaries anymore, as much as they are kind of zooming in a little bit more to, I don't want to say pick a side, but they're definitely more, their authorship wants to have more of a voice in terms of, specific policy, I think.
Yeah, I will say though, because like right now there's a lot of like very intense like political policies and stuff like that and opinions going around, but like the thing is that I feel like a lot of it though is going to be kind of extremely dated by the time Dragon Age 4 comes out. So if they wrote and then a script, it wouldn't make sense. So I feel like they wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right. I think they probably will steer away from most, like you said, from a time standpoint. But I don't think, I don't even think they would do something like what we see in Origins here anymore, ever again.
Yeah. Also, Suzuka, pick now and then forget who you picked. I think that's the real answer.
Oh, that's good stuff, yeah.
A little too close to home there.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember,
so who are you picked one?
Got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
You gotta read out your choices, Jordan.
Oh, that's right. I was
because your silly UI is just so tiny, no one can read it.
Momentarily distracted. All right, Doolin, let's talk.
Here. I am Doolin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful.
Too much, like I need camera time. I have a treaty obliging Orzammar to aid against a blight. That's why I'm here, you dummy.
And that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
Okay. Well. Stop playing games. This treaty compels you to help.
You're asking the King of Orzammar to send armies to the surface, but Orzammar has no king and we have no army. Right now, the men who should be fighting Darkspawn are brawling in the street. If this situation is not resolved, we face civil war. If you want Lord Harrowmont's time now, you'll have to prove you have no intention of turning against him later.
All right, so how can I prove I'm not working for Balin?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
All right, so you want me to find out why your fighters dropped out?
That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation,
I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
All right, so should we just enter the proving then?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Excellent. The arena is located off the common.
Maybe Claude just likes
Talk to the proving master
attention.
until
Yeah.
Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Beisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation
prove
chambers
what?
behind the ring.
I can prove anything.
And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the
God,
first bout,
dirty kitty me in the chat. I've never played a mage hawk. I love Bethany too much to see her die. I just can't even wrap my head. Never a mage hawk. Like at this point, hawk just is a mage to me.
Perhaps even
I mean, to be fair, Hawk is a mage in almost all the promotional material. So
Right.
they do try to say like mage Hawk. I mean, I like Bethany, but like Carver's good too. Give Carver a try. Yeah, he's really prickly at the start of the game, but like you pull him up in Legacy and you talk some talk, walk the walk. Carver's actually pretty chill. Like Bethany's sweet, but I think Carver's more interesting. You know.
Carver does rub me the wrong way. I think it's also a bit of a performance thing. He's definitely not my favorite, but I can see what you're saying in that the fact that he has these like flaws does make him a little more textured.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why I also killed Kaylin and killed Caden and picked Ashley.
Yeah, that actually fits.
News of the hour. Support Lord.
That fits.
Lord Balin suspected of personally defacing statues of the
2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors.
Warden Carver with his friendship max due to some quote-unquote help is great. Oh yeah, it's really hard to get Carver out of the pits, if you will. What do you think of the Blood Mage specialization? I've just like people I think really like the idea of it, but I've just never liked any of the execution.
I mean, the animations were ridiculous, right? You're basically killing yourself for like every other move.
I'm just gonna stab myself in the middle.
Just like through the chest, like whoa.
Did we hear Ogren just then? Yeah, actually, we just passed by Ogren. You can actually find him in various places before you actually meet him.
But I would like to see Blood Mage come back. I mean, I think everyone's kind of in agreement on that. They just need to maybe implement it better. But it is a cool idea, and I would want it to be back, and I would also want it to have more of an effect story-wise with characters and stuff if you do choose to do that, because that's a great blending of gameplay and story.
I know they planned that for Origins. I think there's even some cut dialogue about it that you can. I want to say someone tried to put it back in. I can't remember though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the reason they cut it was just like
I wasn't expecting you back.
Because then you can also I think the specific one I'm talking about is that Wynn can like confront you, being like, I think you're a blood mage, but at the same time you could also spec her as a blood mage. So you're like, all right, bitch, what about it?
Well, that's the proof of why you care.
They just cut it.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of it. I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I.
It would be interesting though if you could like make it so they could only. Like you couldn't make Wynn a blood mage, you know?
The deal.
Right?
Or, like,
yeah.
You couldn't make Morgan a spirit healer for whatever reason.
You're just doing what you think is right. I'll have to inform Mother that Lord Harrowmont hasn't bought our vote after all.
Oh, people were saying Anders does that in Awakening. I don't think I've ever made Anders a blood mage. I think I'll have to do that next time. I generally don't. I kind of skip over Awakening though. Awakening's usually my like least favorite of the. See, Awakening's weird because I don't really count as a DLC. It's more like a 0.5 of a game. You know, it's like half a game. So.
But it is a heck of an expansion if you compare it to, especially like the more modern DLC offerings. It's like, man.
Oh yeah, that's why I almost feel like it's just another game almost, because it's like it has its own companions. it has its own like storyline. It's actually like decently long,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So like it's I almost don't want to call it a DLC, even though it technically is, which is kind of sad because like you don't get DLC of that quality nowadays.
Very rarely. I mean, I think the last thing that we had was a few years ago with Blood and Wine.
That was pretty good, but I don't know. Was it that? I remember Blood and Wine being pretty quick, but maybe that's because we like shotgunned it. I can't remember.
Yeah. You did like most of the side content too?
Yeah, we did everything. We did pretty much every quest that we could find.
Yeah,
unless we had to sleep with someone.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I don't think that it is actually that long compared to like Awakening, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably right.
So what are we doing right now?
I'm just taking the notes for Harriman, for Balin rather.
Okay.
Where's Lady Dace again?
Keep going. She's like in that nook. You just passed it on my screen. I know it's kind of. Oh man, she's in a nook before the palace. God, I don't know how to describe it.
All right, so before the palace, I've already passed it then. So let me go.
Yeah, it's before the palace. It's kind of okay. If you're going towards the exit of the level, kind of hug the right wall. You'll fall into a little nook, and there she is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, here she is. That's it.
There we go.
What do you want?
The Witcher DLCs are pretty good, and like, yeah, I'm not trying to say like they weren't good or like they weren't long enough. I just Awakening beats it as far as length goes.
Yeah, you're totally right. That's interesting as a point because I went to Blood and Wine because in the more modern sense, that's probably the best one.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
As far as length, but if you compare it to the era that we were in back with Awakening, it's like no way. Like if you look at maybe like I don't know, what was it? Blood Moon from Morrowind was another one that was really big.
Mm-hmm.
Not Blood Moon.
I didn't play that.
It may have been the other one before Blood Moon, but like even Shivering Isles in Oblivion was enormous.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more that were much bigger. Okay, yeah, you might want to look at these papers.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
Alright, well, will you tell him?
I cannot. Not for weeks. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
Yeah, how would I know where to find your father?
He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life.
Why beard? Why not?
Interesting.
You don't like women having beards? Are you against that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why beard? And no one has really figured out the answer to that yet.
It was just a mod I threw on. That was what someone wanted to do.
There's no answer to the reason why, but there's no answer to the reason why not.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't like about Awakening is a lot of the additions, crafting system, collect quests, and the amount of extra spells made the DLC a bit clunky. It does feel a bit clunky. I will say that. Yeah, the crafting system isn't great, and it kind of makes you do it in a couple quests, which sucks. I think what I didn't like the most though was because you have to go to 3 different areas, and after you finish the third area, the game automatically steamrolls you into the ending, and I hated that because that means you definitely have to do quests in a certain order, and I really that bothers me. And like it doesn't tell you what that order is. You just kind of have to know it, you know? So you can miss out on things just on your first playthrough because you just didn't know the mechanics.
Right.
I also wasn't very fond of the I don't know what to call it, like the way to talk to your companions. Like I think Origins did it better, and then they tried to change it in like Awakenings to try to test something out, and I just don't think it worked very well.
Yeah.
Where you can only talk to them in certain ways, and like sometimes you have to talk to them by interacting with an item by them, and that was just real clunky. So, yeah.
I mean, BioWare has changed that up a lot in
Oh, yeah.
various different games that they've done, and I don't know if any of them are really just better than being able to talk to them just by clicking on them and starting a conversation. Like that might actually be the best way. But the whole thing with banter getting cut off in the field, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky thing to try and solve.
I actually really liked how Trespasser did it, where there's just a little glowing nodule and you interact with it and then you hear the banter. Because then it's relevant to where you are. And then it kind of matters a little bit. And then it's like you're only going to interact with it when you're not trying to get into a battle. And if you did get into a battle in the middle of the banter, that's probably your fault. So like I feel like that's what I would prefer going forward in Dragon Age 4. I know it also doesn't work that well, like, because then it's only like placement banters of like they're talking about something, near you, where like a lot of the banters that you just have are just kind of like ambient and it doesn't matter where you are. You just kind of learn, like the story of, Sarah and Solus, and or like the chess game between Iron Bull and Solus. It doesn't really matter where it is. It's just like a little ambient dialogue that just kind of triggers no matter what. It doesn't really matter where they are. So you'd lose things like that. But yeah, I don't know. And then also Inquisition just had that problem with the damn thing not triggering at all. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean Andromeda had the same thing where a lot of the squad to squad or party member to party member banter, that's some of the best stuff is as they build their relationships with each other. And I like the stuff where it triggers, but I also do like a little bit of they're just randomly talking to each other.
Here's a idea that won't be implemented because I'm not on BioWare. But what if instead of unloading screens, instead of like codex entries, it's the banter? So as you're going in between areas, it'll be like your companions are talking on the road.
Well, that's what the elevators in Mass Effect 1 were, and people hated
That's exactly
it.
what it was.
Yeah, and people ended up hating that, which I have always loved that. Always.
They hated it?
People hated those elevators. Like the mainstream, that is one of those things where if you talk to someone about Mass Effect 1 who's not necessarily a big like BioWare Mass Effect fan, they go, "Oh yeah, those elevator rides." Like that's like for some reason all the reviewers talked about it at the time.
I liked those though.
I love those. I always thought I love the news things, and I think that's great.
Aww.
I've always wanted them to bring those back, and they never will because they got so much crap for them.
Oh man. Fucking reviewers.
Yeah.
I just hate how long the elevator rides are. I wonder if that depends on your computer though. Like if you have a good computer, the elevator like the banter goes off, and as soon as that's like you're done.
Absolutely, yes. So if you play it, or at least on my computer now, like it finishes and boom, you're out. And so it's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Like the banter is actually not very long. It's normally like 2 lines per character, and you're out.
Mm-hmm. I guess it feels more natural if they talk while walking. I mean, I guess it's true at the same time. Like you get into battles and shit, and then you can't hear what they're talking about, or like you're about to go in the place you finally wanted to, and then there's a piece of banter, so you have to stop and wait until they talk. Yeah, I don't know. It needs some polish. I just don't know how to polish it. So good luck to whatever they figure out in Dragon Age 4 and whether it works or not.
I'm down for it no matter what. Like I'm just I'm happy for the experimentation, honestly.
Yeah. Who are we? Oh, we're about to. What are we doing at the? Are we going into the provings? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, I guess so. Do we really want to find out about the folks that didn't fight, or do we just want to go in there?
I don't know. It's your call.
I guess we can talk to them. They're right here.
We only have 15 minutes though, so keep that in mind.
So do we try and do the proving now? Maybe we'll do the proving next time.
Well, I had like half an episode on the proving, so like good luck on that. But we could probably get a little bit done.
Yeah, well, let's talk to these folks, I guess.
Yeah, talk to the guy.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me?
What? What are you talking about?
Well, that sounded genuine. If you weren't looking for me, do me a favor and pretend I never said anything.
Are you Basil Harrimont?
I am. So if you're not here to... How do you know who I am?
If you tell me what's happening, I could help you.
Look, it's just, when I was younger, I had a thing with this Idukan girl, Revelka. Lesser cousin, nowhere near the throne. Her family wanted her marrying up, so they matched her with a BMO. But we didn't exactly stop seeing each other.
And now Balin's found out.
I thought we were discreet, but she's married to a Desher's heir. He'd kill me if he knew. So I have to slink out of here like some worthless brand for fear Balin will tell the whole city.
Did Balin threaten you himself?
No. One of his fighters, a woman named Miaja, she's the one who threatened to expose me.
And what evidence does she have?
They have letters. Love letters Revelka wrote me. If they were made public, she'd be disgraced. Her husband would cast her aside, and I would be lucky to be allowed to die in a duel.
All right. I can get those letters back.
You do that? I don't know how to thank you. I know it's my own fault, but I'd have married her if I could. If you can make sure that evidence doesn't get out, I'd be happy to fight in the proving. But you need to find them quickly. Registrations close once the first bout starts.
All right, so Basil needs his letters. Where's the other fighter who's being blackmailed? Ah, here he is.
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before.
You don't get out much. I'm Claude, one of the Great Wardens.
This guy's just straight up shirtless. He don't even have a bar on him.
I just tendered my
He's so pale too. It's just like
I don't think the ancestors will favor me today.
Why did you resign?
It's not so much what happened as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harrimon's already given up the throne. Balin called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes.
He is glowing. Oh my god.
That's ridiculous. Harrimont isn't conceding.
And where did you hear
done
this?
too
That's
much
more
highlighter.
reliable than a
He just
member of the
bathed in highlighter.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I suppose there's nothing his lordship would do without consulting Dulin. He's always been his top man. Maybe you're right. I'm just a warrior. I've always tried to stay out of these noble politics. If I find out this whole thing was some flunky of Balin's lying to me for his own gain, I'll...
Get back in the proving and knock some heads.
Maybe
hopefully.
I will at that.
Okay. Very good. So now we just gotta find Revelka and get the letters.
So something Michael and I was talking about today, in of the movies of the last decade, so 2010 to 2019, let's say, what are going to be the movies that are going to be extremely culturally relevant, like 50 years from now? What are people going to remember the most? Because we honestly had a lot of trouble thinking of movies that were so culturally relevant that they would be around in 50 years.
Sure, that's a great question. I mean, I'll tell you one that's outside of your actual question, just barely, but I think it's amazing how influential Superbad ended up being. And was that 08, 09?
That's a good. Yeah, I think I was in high school when that came out. So yeah, that would be
Like, Superbad became a touchstone for really, in a lot of ways, kind of a lot of the nerdy culture, like slacker culture that has come after it. Do you know what I mean? Like the past decade that we just closed, I feel like in a lot of ways was informed by sort of like putting what was already there on Front Street through that movie. So I think that's a highly underrated movie as far as how influential it was. But yeah, that's a good question. We may not know until the few years of this decade. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah. Which it was 2007. So
2007, yeah.
Yeah. The Emoji Movie, Jesus. I don't think we're gonna remember Cats. I don't think we're gonna remember The Greatest Showman because I know nothing about that. Zootopia, I think Zootopia is only influential in a very niche culture, if you know what I'm trying to get at here.
I feel like the Marvel movies as a whole have been very influential as far as other media is concerned.
Yeah, I feel like it's yeah, I almost want to say it's not so much the movies as it is the empire. You know if that makes sense? Like no other company has made a series of movies that long and most of them have been successful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like that is very influential. So I could see that being a thing.
But don't you also kind of feel like from a story standpoint, like that everyone kind of wants to capture that quote unquote Marvel magic? Like I see a lot more ensemble stuff. Like I feel like a lot of that bantery action, it's good for kids, but it's good for adults. Like I know that's kind of vague, but I just feel like they're the ones pushing that, and now you see it everywhere.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to go on a downhill because like there's so many like media empires trying to become a thing. Like you know the DC, the fucking Ghostbusters. There was at one point a couple years ago they were trying to make a whole bunch of reboots of horror movies. Like you know like you had the Mummy, the Wolfman, or whatever that was all announced. And because the Mummy canned, it all got scraped. So like there's a whole bunch of like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like it definitely set it a trend. But like I guess I was thinking more of just like a movie. But yeah, I guess in this day and age, this last decade has been most notable for its fucking franchises.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know how you feel about that because I guess it's like the last Marvel movie I saw was The Avengers, the first one.
The first one, I got you.
Yeah, you know, like I got tired of that then.
This area is awful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, none of the Star Wars movies that we've had in the sequel trilogy are going to have any type of... realistically, they're not going to have the cultural impact that the other movies did.
Yeah. So what Michael and I came to the conclusion of, it's really not going to be the movies, but we can name like a ton of relevant TV shows that we thought was going, or like, you know, streaming service shows that were like, this seems to be like a little bit more like, you know, Breaking Bad was fucking huge.
Yeah.
That's one of the few TV shows that apparently had a good ending to it. You know, like I know a fair amount of Breaking Bad and I've never even seen it just because of cultural absorption, you know, but I can't really name a movie that has the cultural impact Breaking Bad had.
Interesting.
So.
You might be right about that. I mean, look, I know we're very early on here, but like I feel like The Mandalorian did gangbusters. I think that might be the most effective Star Wars thing that we've seen since Star Wars has been rebooted.
You know, yeah, probably. Yeah, actually. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Is that an accusation?
Oh god.
It's illegal to threaten proving
Game of Thrones. I mean, yeah, Game of Thrones fracking huge.
No, it was absolutely huge. I'll say that. But was the ending so bad? Is that going to sour the entire? Because like now when you watch it, all of that build up towards something cool, you know, it's just going to be a big pile of poop.
The ending's not that bad. Come at me.
Right.
I will mute those conversations so fast. Like
I've literally never seen Game of Thrones.
I think that what you saw with the end of Game, don't get me wrong, there were a couple of moments where there were just goofs from like a standpoint of like that shouldn't be possible. And so there's a couple of those, but as far as the main contention of why the show was so terrible is people didn't like, and by the way, I'm about to ruin it if anyone wants to go watch it, it's the fact that Khaleesi turns out to be crazy, which if you've read any of the books or just paid attention watching the early seasons of the show, she was always going to go crazy. Like, it's ridiculous that people thought that was a out of character, like she was clearly going to go crazy. That was always going to happen. I was baffled that anyone thought that was shocking or somehow out of character for her.
Well, I mean, a lot of these people haven't read the book. Again, I haven't read anything or watched anything, so I have no room to talk. But like a lot of people didn't read the books, and like I feel out of the TV show, like yeah, it came out of nowhere for a lot of people. So.
I thought that whole thing was like that is maybe the peak example of fandoms just throwing a temper tantrum over something that's really not that bad. This last season was too short. Some episodes carried on a bit too long. The second to last season had the weird thing where somehow, like, it felt like people were time traveling as far as how far a distance that they could travel in like one day. That was kind of annoying, but otherwise, I thought the last season was actually dope as hell.
Now, 12 Monkeys says it wasn't the ending that pissed me off. It was how they rushed it. I
It
think
was-
that could be fair.
It was too short of a season, but also people have to understand the financials and the politics of it is that all of those actors, have agents who are saying, this is the most popular show of all time. You got to get more money than Friends. Per episode, I mean. And so the producers ended up capitulating. They gave everyone the money that they wanted, but then they had to turn like 9 episodes into 6 because it was a per episode. Do you know what I mean? Like they made longer episodes slightly, but there was shorter runtime. In other words, you couldn't pay all the actors what you wanted and had 10 episodes. It would have been, even for them, the cost would have been too high.
Well, all right, let's finish out what we're doing here.
All right, yeah, stop threatening fighters. It's a private matter. You shouldn't interfere.
You haven't been here long. You'll learn soon enough. Nothing in Orzammar is private.
As long as someone can find out.
Come on, Luke John. We have a fight to prepare for.
Whoa, did they just run off?
They might have.
You are quickly overstepping.
Yep, they just ran off, huh? I think it's supposed to be walk off, but because they're just so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
All right, well, I mean, I guess those letters got to be somewhere. Okay, yeah, also they did kind of go a long time before that last season. I agree. And the real problem with the Game of Thrones stuff is that George R.R. still hasn't, finished the books, and so they held up longer than they should have while they thought that was still going to happen, and then it became clear that was never going to happen while the show was running.
Yeah.
The proving's almost starting. I should leave if you haven't found anything.
Steal them from the chest, says Steven. Yeah, you can steal the letters if you want to.
If you want me to register, you'll have to hurry.
Stephen Wilhelm says steal them from the chest. Wait, like a chest around here or a chest over in the palace?
I think it was in the room they were in.
Okay.
Now, do you have anyone that can... Oh, well, we have the chest open mod, so who cares? Never mind.
Ah, that's true. No, nothing around here. I mean, no chest that I'm seeing anyway.
Nothing in the room they were in?
I think so.
You gotta open a door. Small room on the right.
Okay, let me go back.
Chat. I think I'm just seeing how fast Claude goes. When I play Origins again, it feels like when you start Pokemon, don't have the running shoes yet. Oh, how's your Pokemon team, man?
Pokemon team's going pretty good. We've gotten some evolutions. I've been mostly happy with them. God, I can't remember the name of the electric corgi dog now, but it did evolve, and I like the evolution.
See, it's not the same. It's not a corgi dog anymore.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird, but it's pretty dope looking. It's very fast. It has very good speed stats, which I like.
Oh, I have corgi news, I guess.
Ooh.
So someone else in the neighborhood adopted a corgi. So now Jinx is no longer the only corgi in our neighborhood.
Oh, very
Oh,
interesting.
look at us go. So, yeah. I haven't actually met the corgi yet, but Michael did. Because here's the thing: when you're walking your dog in a small neighborhood and you find other dogs, you almost always start talking to the people with the other dog, you know. So he ended up talking with the woman who owned the dog, and apparently it was something like, it sounded like a Christmas dog, that was surrendered because the family didn't want to take care of it. And so this woman got a purebred corgi, which can be up to like $1,000 or something crazy like that. I would say we got Jinx cheaper because there's a whole story behind Jinx. She wasn't a puppy mill dog. I'll say that though. Anyway, but it could be up to like $1,000. So she got that for like $20, whatever the adoption fee was, and then she also came like the little dog came with food and toys and a bed. Like that's a great deal.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So I mean, good for her. Also, I can't imagine the family that bought a very expensive dog and then the toys and the food and then the crate, and like a month out from Christmas was like, nah.
Right. That's not good.
Like, holy shit, man. And apparently it's a really good dog because Michael said the dog was playing great with Jinx, even though it's a little puppy. So, man, I can't imagine.
Indeed.
So anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's about time, Jordan. What are we? Are you still trying to get into that door?
I just need. I have the door. I just need frickin' Zevran and somebody else, but I also can't get the whole party in here because.
Oh, you have to undo dog.
I know, but I keep doing it and it will not exit now.
It won't?
Nope.
But that's weird.
Yep. I tried manually putting Dumut in and taking out. Okay, now it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, that was weird. But okay, now let's get into that door. We'll get the thing, and then we'll call it there.
I feel bad for the dog, but at least we've got a good feeling. Yeah, I don't really know the woman who picked up the dog, but at the very least, like I've talked with her a little bit, and she's always loved Jinx. She's like, oh, I love Gorky so much, and I want to get him. Like, where did you get her? I'm like, oh, some small farm. I don't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. Also, that people were very old, and this was a couple years ago, and I do not know if they're still alive. I'll be real. Because Jinx came from a little family farm. I guess fun facts. There's two. There's the AKC and I have something else that registered dogs to breed. And at the time, I didn't know this, so we went over there to pick up Jinx. After I called on the phone, was like, because they were advertising they had puppies, corgi puppies for about $700, which was decently cheap and within our budget. Because, quite frankly, all of our wedding money that we got as presents went to our dog.
Okay,
to be,
all right,
to be completely honest. So we drove over there. It was like a couple hours, and because I wanted to make sure it wasn't a puppy mill. And it was just this cute old couple that I at one point owned a farm, but it just kind of got too much of a hassle. So they still had all the farmland. So what they just did is that in their retirement years, they were going to breed corgis. And they only had a couple dogs, and they let us walk around and we pet the dogs and the mom and dad. Everyone looked real healthy. They adopted the little puppies out at 7 weeks, not 7, 10 weeks, which was a good sign because they didn't adopt them out early. I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel comfortable getting a dog here. And Jinx was so tiny. She was so little. So that's how we got Jinx. She's just from a little family farm. But
the Jinx origin story.
The Jinx origin story. So, and so the Jinx origin story. The first time I saw Jinx, we walk into her house because they had the puppies in their house. And she at the time there were two other dogs there, a tricolor brother and a sable sister. And all three puppies come looking at us, and Jinx just fucking books it. She is not having any of it. And the other two puppies are coming up, like, oh, hello, we're cute too. And poor Jinx was so scared of us because we were new people. She hid behind a fridge. And so these poor elderly people and my husband had tried to fish the dog out behind the fridge. And that's the first time I met Jinx. And then they put this little tiny puppy in my hand, and we're walking around, and I'm holding the puppy, and I'm just falling in love with this puppy. And that was the shyest she's ever been. She loved us ever since, but it was just very you walk into the house, and you see three little puppies. Two of them are really excited, and the one you want to adopt just books it. You're like, well, I don't know if this is a good puppy, but
yeah, no kidding. Hey, so does the lock bash not work on doors?
It should. I'm surprised. Maybe because it's a story thing, it's not letting you.
Yeah, it might be that.
Because it's supposed to just work on anything.
Mm-hmm.
It really might just be like because it's a story plot line. It's saying "fuck you."
Okay, well, we could probably figure out a way to get into that next time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll find a way to break through some doors. But again, this is kind of a running theme. Claude can't do anything he tries to do.
Honestly, yeah, wow. We even have a mod that's supposed to work with this.
This is great. This has never happened. This is awesome.
God, yeah.
But okay,
right.
the Super Bowl should be starting soon, actually, I think.
Oh, yeah, and remember our prediction, it was the Chiefs.
Yes.
23-7.
Against the Niners. This is going to be the most interesting Super Bowl ever if this happens. I'm going to be rooting so hard against like both teams just scoring perfectly correct, and this is going to be great.
Someone on the chat was like, how the hell are they going to score 23? Because apparently it's a really rare thing. I don't know how football works.
It's possible. You can score 23. It's not frequent, but it's possible.
So yeah, I'm just woo. If this wins, Chiefs 23-7. Dragon Age 4 confirmed for 2020. That's just how it has to be, right?
You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll.
All right, everybody. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and everybody have a great week.
Happy Groundhogs Day!
Thanks, everybody. Happy Super Bowl Day. Bye.
Bye.